Hello, Internet. This is SAR Mortinian here with another episode of Shenanigans, the show where I sit here in my room and talk to you about things that are in my life and going on and whatnot, and you have to listen to it because you love me, I guess. Yeah, probably. So this episode's late, and I'm really sorry about that. It's supposed to go up last night, Saturday night. It's like normal, but it's actually going up today at about 7 on Sunday, and the reason for that is because there was like no sleep this weekend. Events happened, schedule conflicting, and I just didn't have time to film it. And so, yeah. But I love you, and here it is, and you're wonderful, and thanks for watching. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so that's all been covered, and blah blah. So gaming club is back. Basically, it started again up this week on Saturday, so I've been enjoying that, and glory, 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 all glory to the Hypnotoad. Everything was wonderful. Had lots of fun. Stayed out nice and late playing. Missed those guys a lot. Several of you actually watched my show, so y'all are awesome. One of the games that we played last night, which we play often, I can't actually remember if I've mentioned it or not here, but it's called The Great Dalmoody, and it's a game that's very much like. God, they reference. I've never played the game that it's like, but they reference it. Scum. It's very much like the game Scum, if you're familiar with that one. I hope that I was correct in remembering that. And basically, it's a game where if you don't know the people you're playing with and you all know you love each other, some of the threats and statements that get lobbed over that table in the passion of the game are amazing. Like, this is like beat up your friends in the parking lot kind of gameplay, which is wonderful. I love that kind of stuff because obviously we don't actually beat each other up or anything, but just like the raw visceral passion that this game's able to elicit from people it's so high and so wonderful. I have tons of fun with it. And so I think, if you've got some friends that you are confident that you would never kill, it's a very good game to play. And then speaking of gaming, I'm sure I've talked about the fact that I run a Rifts campaign in the past, but that's over now. That's we're getting towards the end of school, and the almost 2-year long story finally concluded itself. Everyone was really powerful and like too powerful, and it was time. It felt like it was the right time to end the campaign, so we did. And what's taken place of that is a game within the Fate system. It's actually in Changsha. Basically, the Jade Empire world. If you've ever played the Jade Empire series of games, it's from there. Changsha, whatever. It's from there, and it's really cool and it's martial arts based. But I've got to sell the Fate system so hardcore. I'm not being paid to do this. I'm not a Fate representative. Fate is so much fun. And to give you a precursor for kind of the worldview I'm coming from, in this sense, because some people who are probably just not like Fate. It's gonna be not for them, but it's still a fun system, nonetheless, and it happens to suit me better. So when I play gaming, I'm most focused on the storyline aspect. I really like kind of the interactions between characters and motivations for characters, and what about them made them more prepared to do these things. Like I'm the kind of person who I'll min-max to a certain extent, but not to do everything. I'll just be like, yeah, my character does this really well because of these backstory reasons, and so I'll be like, I'll take this very specific route about how to approach something, and I usually end up doing things well. I occasionally play characters that are effectively crippled or bad, but not. I mean, you want to be the hero in the game. I don't do it that often, but the way the Fate system is set up is your character is mostly storyline. Like the character creation is not rolling up stats, this, that, and the other. It's all about figuring out who you are. Basically, you've got to create aspects of who you are and create a background for yourself. And then your, I guess, stats, the closest thing to that, I guess, would be the skill scores. And those, you just have so many points and construct your skill tree. That's all it is. So there's no like luck involved. It's all about creativity and who your character is and how your character relates to other people. And most of the game is still kind of like that. I mean, like, there's combat and stuff, but it's very simplistic, very fast. Kind of gets done what it needs to get done with the numbers, and then you get to fill in more what you did when you're in there. For instance, like if you were to go into a fight in Dungeons and Dragons, you could like, I'm going to disarm this person versus I'm going to attack this person versus, you know, this, that, the other. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do a jump strike because jump strike versus I'm going to stab him. And in Fate, it's like, I'm going to roll my fight skill. He's going to roll his, I guess, fight, defense against fight. He's going to roll his skill. This is the result. Now let's talk about how it happened to make a cool story. And just because of who I am, I love that so much. It's awesome. I mean, you know, what can you say? Huh. That killed a lot of time. Let's see. So I guess I'll talk about WitCon first. So WitCon's coming up April 19th and 20th. So that's what, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks away from. Yeah, 2 weeks away from right now. So we'll have next weekend will be a normal weekend, and the week after that will be WitCon. It's gonna be awesome. Gonna be tons of fun, and I'm pretty sure everyone who watches my channel already knows about it at this point and is gonna come. But regardless, you should. And if you haven't been telling your friends and selling it like a madman, you should. And if you are in another state, Spokane, Washington, man, just fly up Whitworth University, April 19th and 20th, the WitCon. Pay at the door. You're a wonderful person. Yeah, that's basically all there is for that. But it's going to be fun. We're doing good. And I think everything is going to work out well with that. The last thing I want to talk about, well, last thing I have kind of scheduled that I knew I wanted to talk about anyway, is the TV show Fringe. As I understand it, it's not, you know, let me check. TV show Fringe, I don't think is airing anymore. Is it done? I can't tell. Regardless, it's a really good show. It's based on a fringe science, which basically means bullshit. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. They, as a scientist, every single time they're like, theoretically, this could work. I'm like, no, not at all. And I can point to 5 reasons why it couldn't work ever. But if you're not a sciencey person, so you don't care, or you are a sciencey person, but you're willing to just kind of every single time they say science or theoretically be like, oh yeah, magic, right. The actual like characters in the show and the interplay and the kind of like plot that's going on in the background is really interesting, really cool. And the actors do a just superb job of the show. I don't think at this point I've run into any complaints. There's a really good mix of like action, drama, and suspense through the entire show to just keep you engaged constantly. And there's a mystery too. There's enough mystery floating around in the background that I'm just I can't stop watching it. It's so awesome. I love it so much. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix, and you should join me right now because I'm going to watch it right after this while this is uploading. But I'm probably ahead of you, so I'm sorry. And then yes, Fringe is done. I was doing a little search thing and it popped up, and I'm pretty sure it's done. Yes, series finale. It is done, which means that it's all up on Netflix, and you can go watch it. And you can find out everything that there ever was. And I know very little about it right now because I'm still in season 1 out of 5. But it's just too fun. Too fun. Too good. Can't stop watching it. I love the doctor, the crazy doctor who's like that. Oh, God, Dr. Bishop. Love him so much. He's a genius, and his lucid moments are sometimes touching, sometimes awe-inspiring, and sometimes downright freaking terrifying. So for those of you who hasn't watched the show, he's a crazy guy. He's been in a mental institution for a while, but so good. Anyway, for the last little bit, I think there's a couple of updates as far as channel stuff that we're working on. So the SAR podcast, I know I keep saying it's coming, but it's coming. I'm working on it. It's really tough to get people together who are in college to all be able to do something at the same time and work in the extra work around their schedules. So I'm trying. but it's, oh, well, I guess one of the people on the podcast isn't actually in college, but he's got a flexible work schedule that rotates a lot, so that's also being problematic. But we are working on it. Hopefully we can get it going soon. I'm trying really hard for all of you. It's wonderful. More live streams will be coming up. And they'll be wonderful. And then, at some point over the summer, I'm going to try and do a charity live stream, and it's going to, right now I'm in the stage of, I know I want to do it, and I need to find the good charity or charities. So I'm looking in the area of, like, medical research or medical aid in some method. I'm looking a lot into children's related medical, but I'm trying to find, so here's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a charity topic that not just I like, but everyone is going to like, and I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that no one's going to be like, oh man, that guy wants to help dying kids, he's an asshole. You know, I think that helping sick and dying children is something that pretty much everyone wants to do. So now, in order to achieve that end and make that good, so it's not just like, you know, I'm not blindly giving money to people. I'm looking at a lot of different charities and trying to find ones that, one, actually do good work and produce good results, so that people are actually being helped, and it's not just like, oh, we're throwing money at a problem and nothing's happening. Because you can throw money at a problem in you know, that has a good cause, but not do anything and basically waste people's money, and I don't want to waste your money. And I also want to find a charity that's got as low of an overhead cost as possible. Because, I mean, there's no such thing as a charity where all of your money goes directly to the work, just because, you know, people have to organize it. The money has to go and change hands, this, that, and the other. The only way to remove overhead is to go do it yourself. That's reality. But I'm trying to find a place that minimizes the overhead as much as possible, so as much of people's money that can goes to them as possible. And so ways that I'm gonna try and earn that, I guess, through the charity live stream stuff through to you guys, is one, YouTube is a wonderful structure in that in my analytics it can tell me exactly how much money I made from that video in terms of ad revenue. So yeah, you know, you'll see the ad revenue going up, and it'll be awesome. Two, I'm gonna have a donate button that's just straight up like a donate button. I'm gonna see if I can find a website that can handle it for me, but if I can't, I'll just make a like SAR PayPal charity account thing that you can donate directly to, and then I'll also be selling shirts, and all these things are really easily trackable. I can, you know, give people graphs and numbers and reports and stuff, so I can be held very accountable to make sure all the money goes to where it needs to go, and everything should be wonderful. And I'm way over time, so thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe. I will have an announcement about the charity live stream when it comes closer with more information, and blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. I love you, and thank yous. Bye.